Turn me up.
What up, y'all? This is the Merry Bunch podcast. This is season 2. And to do something a little different, the Bunch members take the hot seat and we're going to discuss some things about marriage and reintroduce ourselves. So first, I just want to say this is Brianna.
This is Nico.
Crystal.
Chris.
And we are interviewing the Carringtons. So what up, guys?
Hello.
What up? We will say welcome, but you always here.
All right, so we have Keonda and William. So on this episode, we revisit the Carrington story as they reflect on their 5 years of marriage. They share candid stories about how they've grown both individually and as a couple, discussing the challenges of balancing careers and personal growth. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so Carringtons. You gotta sound out. Carringtons. Okay. All right, Carringtons. How long have you been married? And the story. How did you meet?
So we've been together 8 years. We've been married 5. You want to tell them how we met?
We met at a party, I guess, little juke joint.
The hole in the wall.
Hole in the wall. Yeah, 8 years ago.
Yep. Do you want to, tell them how? You told them where, but do you want to tell them how?
Yeah, tell us the story of the juke joint.
They want to hear the story.
Did you walk up? Did you back it up on them? What happened?
Sure didn't.
So my pops used to DJ. So he was at the little hole in the wall DJing, and I'm always by myself. So I was in the corner by myself dancing, had my little drink in my hand, hitting my two-step.
I
was hitting my little two-step, So I had my shades on, and it's dark in there. I had my shades on. So I seen her looking at me. But she didn't know that I was looking at her, too. I seen her looking at me. And that's, I guess one of your friends asked me, was I single? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, well, I got somebody want to talk to you, whatever. And I did the rest on my own.
All right.
Took me a while, but I did the rest on my own.
I wasn't looking at him. That's one. And
You
I didn't know I won't. And I didn't tell her to say anything to him. I just said, he cute, but that was it.
Did we dance that night?
No. We did not.
Oh, we danced.
I'm a shy person, so I would never do any of that. But no, I wasn't looking at him, so I don't know what he was looking at. If you had a drink in your hand, your eyes was crossing or something.
Nah.
But yeah, and then he hit me in my DM.
Let me ask you a question though.
Uh-oh.
Why you play hard to get, man?
I wasn't playing. I am hard to get. I wasn't playing.
I'm gonna tell you on this podcast, you gave me a run for my money, man. You did.
Okay,
made him work.
You did, yeah, she did. But let's get into it though.
Okay.
We're gonna save a little bit. I got a lot to tell these people.
Oh, all right. Now, we'll save it then. So the next question, were y'all in a serious relationship prior to marriage, and what made you fall in love with each other and make this relationship the one?
You go first.
Yes, I was in a serious relationship before. And what else? You asked a bunch of questions.
Oh, was you in a prior relationship, and what made you fall in love with each other to make this relationship the one?
I guess, I was in a serious relationship. That season ended. And I really wasn't looking for much. You know what I'm saying? Like just somebody to just kind of hang out with. You just getting out of something serious. So you just, chilling. And I felt like he respected that. We was just chilling. So yeah, I guess that in the time that we spent together, then that's what kind of made us, made me fall for him.
Okay. How about you, William?
So I was in a relationship, but I wasn't in a relationship. You get what I'm saying? I was
Care to explain?
I was with somebody,
Right.
but I spent most of my time in the streets. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? So it was rare that I went home. I go to my mama's house, or I'm staying with one of the homies. Like, I hardly ever went home. When I was there, it was we smoking, just chilling. It won't serious. You know what I'm saying? But I was with her, but it won't like serious.
Right.
And that 10 years, bro. Like, that was a long time. It was a long time. But
Very long time.
yeah. A lot of time, honestly, just a lot of time wasted, man. It was. It was a lot of time wasted, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So what made this relationship the one then?
Yeah,
Since
what
you
made
were
you
with
fall
someone
in
for
love?
10 years,
So I had to go away, do some time. So I did a lot of praying, a lot of talking to God. And I prayed for this one particular thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it happened. Like, it didn't happen the way I expected it to happen. But when it happened, I knew it was because of my prayers.
Mm-hmm.
So when I saw her, I knew she was gonna be my wife. I just knew it. Like, I don't know how, I don't know why, but I think I told her that, like, you gonna be my wife. And she was like, what made you say that? I was like, I don't know. I just got this feeling, man. You gonna be my wife. And it's been 8 years.
All right, so what are some qualities that you admire about your spouse?
I admire how she let me be me. Especially like in the beginning, she told me exactly what she wanted, what she didn't want, and left it up to me to either make the changes or make the decision, is this what I want to do or not. You know what I'm saying? I like how she's straightforward. Like, she don't sugarcoat nothing, man. I admire that. Like, and I need that, especially from my wife. Like, cause I know I'm a handful, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And with her, like, keeping her foot on my neck, man, I love it. I love it.
Who this is beside me? I admire, like, because of his story, like his history or whatever, he could have stayed down. He could have stayed oppressed. He could have, but the fact that he did move forward, the fact that he did try to get himself together, I admire that. I admire, a story that could have been something completely different, that you changed your life around. I admire that.
I appreciate it.
Yep.
That's what's up. So how have your expectations of marriage evolved since you first got married?
Okay. So I think, like, whenever I first decided to get married, well, because it was never really a desire to be married for me. So I did not really think that it was going to be as much work. I thought everything would just flow.
Mm-hmm.
We married, it's all gonna flow.
Right.
But I found out, no, marriage is work. Marriage requires you to change things about yourself that maybe I was comfortable doing this. And no, now I have to change that because he's not comfortable with that. So yeah, I just thought it would be kind of the easy part would be the marriage. You know what I'm saying? The dating part may have been the hard part, getting to know each other. But I found out that, marriage is the part that really requires the work.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with the wife, man. It's definitely hard work. It takes dedication and it takes patience. But expectations, I really can't say they evolve much. Not since the dating phase. I don't think they evolve much.
Okay.
So what was your expectations like in the beginning to where you saying that they didn't? Where were your expectations at?
I just, because like she said, because of my history and because of what I've been through and the things that I have seen, I just needed somebody that was easy to talk to. You know what I'm saying? That was one of my biggest ones, just having somebody to just listen sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that could be there like in time of need. If I call, you come. If you call, you should know I'm coming. And really just being that shoulder, because everybody, like especially men, we get looked at like we supposed to be these hard guys and we don't get emotional, we don't cry, we got it all put together. Like, but sometimes I just want to vent. I might cry on your shoulder. You know what I'm saying? I need a shoulder that I can cry on sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And she just always been that person, bro. And that was one of my like expectations, to just have somebody that made it easy for me to vent.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So how long did you date before you became engaged or married?
2 years?
3 years.
3 years?
We were
Stayed engaged. We stayed engaged for a year.
Oh.
Yeah, so you was engaged for a year and then married.
A year and a half. Oh, yeah. About a year and a half.
We dated for 2 years.
3. We were together a year and a half before, and then we were engaged for like a year and a half.
Okay. You won't say a year and a half, okay.
You just said 8 years. We've been married for 5.
Yeah.
1 plus 1. How many apples?
You right. All right. You got it.
And so with that timeline, what did you do to prepare for marriage?
In the dating process.
Or after the engagement.
Yeah, after the engagement. Yeah.
We did premarital counseling, which was a lot. I think at that moment too, really kind of letting him know for me what I wanted. Looking back, I think we could have did a little bit more preparing. As far as like getting married, if we're gonna be honest, because we had, kids, co-parenting, all the things. I think we could have prepared a little bit more than what we did, but we did do premarital counseling.
Okay. So I know you said Key didn't desire for marriage. So how about you, William?
I did.
So you did and she didn't.
I did.
Okay, so why didn't you?
So this is funny because I was telling somebody this the other day. So like, this is gonna sound crazy, but I was in high school, right? And it was like I got a glimpse into my life, and I just saw me and kids. Mm-hmm. I did not see a dude, and that sounds crazy because you like, how you get the kids? What what was the man? Right. But I just didn't see that. Also, like the examples of marriage. I just didn't desire that. No shade to anybody in my family, but yeah, I just didn't desire that. So yeah, and like I said, I was in high school and I saw me and my kids, but I just didn't see a man. And I just, and honestly, I was straight. Like, I was very independent. And I think that also was part of something that I had to kind of let go of too. I was independent. Mm-hmm. I was going to make it work.
Word to Boosie.
Yeah, I was. But yeah. So yeah, I just didn't desire that because I was straight on my own.
Right.
I have a question. So, can you desire a relationship without wanting to get married?
I think so. I think you can have an intimacy with somebody, and just don't want to take it further. I like that you go home every night. We might chill and hang out, but you go to your house. I go back to my house. So yeah, I do think it can work. Is it, if we're gonna be for real, should it be that way? If you having all the other stuff, no, it shouldn't. But yeah, I think you can have a relationship with somebody and not desire marriage. That sounds crazy, but especially because I'm a female saying that. But
So why did you want it?
Because I seen the way my grandma and my grandfather acted when I was coming up. Like, my grandma was real big on like making sure my grandfather was straight, and vice versa. And I used to just love that. And also, like, I just wanted to take care of somebody, man. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to be running around or be single all my life. I wanted to settle down and be with somebody special, man. I think marriage is a special thing, and I wanted to do it.
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
All right, so going to the next question. What is your love language, and how does your spouse support it, or could it be done a little better with their support?
I really don't believe in the love language thing, because you constantly grow, you constantly change. So, and I also feel like whatever you're lacking is going to be what you desire more. So I really don't believe in the love language thing. But I will say this: acts of service is big for me because I run around like a chicken with my head cut off. I'm here and I'm there and I'm everywhere. So yeah, to have somebody to support that, it's cool. But I just don't believe in the love language thing for myself, because a person is constantly changing. And if you're married, y'all should be dating, so you don't even have to figure out what a love language. Because today I might need a gift. Tomorrow I might need your acts of service. Today I might just need your affection. So I don't really go with the love language thing. I don't.
Well, I'm going to say mine is physical touch, because I just love when you touch me.
Boy, get out of here.
I love when you rub my back, rub my head, like whatever. I just love when your hands on me. But I like them gifts too. So like you said, they change.
Okay.
All right. Well, we were all at your wedding, so but the people weren't. So what was the funniest or most memorable moment of your wedding day?
The damn DJ.
I'm gonna say this.
I'm gonna go and be honest, man. Hey man, that DJ. Hey, Pops.
I'm gonna be very honest. I hated everything about that day. I really did. I could not, when I walked out and I didn't see what it was supposed to look like, I hated.
So is it you didn't think everything like flowed the way you wanted it to?
No, it didn't flow. It didn't flow for me.
Even the lady that was videoing,
She was cool. I liked her.
She didn't even get me coming out. She was so mad with her other people. Like she was like, why did you tell him to walk? Why did you tell him to walk? I wasn't even here yet. Like she was so mad, bro. And when I realized that she won't there, that's what pissed me off too. But far as like memorable moment, just seeing her, because I think I told you, Nico, and I told you, Chris, that I said, bro, I'm not going to cry, bro. I said, bro, I'm not going to cry. Nico was like, you going to cry. I was like, bro, I'm not going to cry.
Exactly.
But, bro, when I seen her, oh, my God. I never get that out of my head. Like, I ain't never seen nothing. Baby, you were beautiful, man.
Oh, thanks.
And I cried.
Thank you.
So on a scale 1 to 10, as far as things lining up in your favor,
I hate talking about this day. I hate looking at the pictures.
It won't that
it
bad.
couldn't have been that bad. So
Right.
what you give it?
It was not that bad.
What you give
y'all.
it on the scale 1 to 10 as far as everything going? How you wanted
How I
it to
thought.
We was on the
0 to
beach, y'all.
10.
Yeah.
0 to 10.
Oh God.
Seriously,
She gonna say about a 7.
no.
No, she gonna say
About a 4.
Damn. Damn.
I mean, I understand when you have a vision for something, you want it to be how it was, but it was still beautiful.
Yeah.
That beach,
but-
it was
but-
perfect
but-
weather.
Yeah,
Everything
but
was good.
knowing me,
Yeah.
and like how, because I was like, I could, like I'm a controlled person, and when I walked out and I did not, it just crushed my whole day.
You did say that.
It
too.
crushed my entire day. I didn't want to take
did that.
pictures. I didn't want to do anything. It was like a 4.
Yeah. So would you recommend, what's it called when they have the getaway weddings? Would you recommend people doing getaway weddings? Like what advice then for that?
You got to go a lot. I felt like we went down there a lot. We talked to everybody. We did all the emails. We were always, in contact. I felt like we did a lot. I will say if you're going to do that though, honestly, go out before and just see everything for yourself. Tell them you want to have everything done by a certain time so you can go out and view everything. And if it's not what you want it to be, and then even if it's not what you wanted to be and they can't fix it, get your money back. Cause I did. I called them. I was very upset. I got some of my money back. But you just gotta really, really plan that thing out and look at it before. I mean, it's possible to do it. People do it all the time. But I think my mistake was I should have went out and viewed everything before.
Yeah, definitely. But it was very beautiful, y'all.
Yeah.
It was great. We had a great time. So, what's a shared experience or adventure you'll always cherish from the past?
For me, I always talk about it. The honeymoon. That was just the best time for me. I mean, even like planning for the wedding, like continuing to go back and forth. Like I enjoyed that too. But I think for me was actually the honeymoon. For me,
That's mine too. Like I enjoyed that. Just being with you, man. Like I really enjoyed that honeymoon. I did. I had a ball.
Okay, honeymoon. Went from the beach to the beach.
One last question for the people on there. So we always talk about this. Does everyone consummate their marriage on their honeymoon the first night?
No, not the honeymoon.
you mean
After the wedding.
right after the wedding.
Oh yeah, after the wedding.
So I had this big thing. I was going off on Crystal and I was going off on Brianna because I'm like, how y'all didn't do it?
And
How
you
y'all
found
didn't
out.
do it? Why would y'all not do it, baby? You so tired.
So yeah,
Yeah.
y'all will see.
So let us know if y'all did it.
Right.
Yeah,
Leave a
I want to
comment.
know that for real. Leave a comment if you did it after your wedding.
But I was ready.
Sleep.
I was ready.
Well, when I came out the shower,
Say that for your
sleep.
episode.
Oh, Chris was asleep. Yeah, I was asleep. I was sitting in a chair asleep. I was
I
was
wouldn't
asleep. I
put
went
you
to
in the
sleep,
bed.
I was
I wouldn't put her
asleep.
in the bed, but I was like, so you don't want to?
Okay, Jay Holiday.
Oh, and my monthly came on. My monthly came on too the day of the wedding. I think I was so stressed out, baby.
You brought it on. You brought it on.
I did. It did come on.
Bridezilla.
Everything was just, oh God.
Yeah,
that
she
day.
was a
She was a
bridezilla.
bridezilla.
I was
Oh,
not a bridezilla. Now y'all gonna
was
make
so
me
We should
loud.
have the cameras on.
Yeah, she almost got through in the water. But anyway,
All right, so moving on to the second part of the episode. First question, how have you two grown as individuals and as a couple since getting married?
Individually, I have tried to get closer to God, because I had fell off for a minute. So I've been trying to get back to where I was with God, just spending more time and doing more reading and stuff like that, just trying to build my relationship with Him. Trying to be a better employee supervisor, man. Cause my wife tell me all the time, like, you don't need to talk to them guys like that, this, that, and the third. So I just been trying to better my
can we
surroundings.
get an example of how you talk to them?
Nico, don't start your shit, bro.
Well, the listeners may want to hear. So if she's telling you, it must be very exciting.
Nah, I just cause
Hey.
they be lazy, man. They be lazy, man. They want to be lazy, man. Like, they don't want to work. I tell them, hey, you don't want to work, go sit in the damn truck or go home. You don't want to work. Yeah, you don't want to work.
Okay.
Go home,
Me
man.
not work it. That's what you do.
Yeah.
Me
Nah.
go home it.
No.
Okay.
No. This is what I do. You know what? You go to Casa, my friend. That's what I do. That's you ask. You ask.
So I'll say, individually, like our careers, we changed in our careers. So yeah, and together as a couple, we found a church home. We start going to church together. And we took a break, but we had also I was leading Bible study at home with us. You know, we was doing Bible study together and stuff like that. But yeah, just growing together as growing our faith together, walking this thing out with Christ.
Amen.
Amen.
The most rewarding part of being married is just having that better half, that soulmate that you can just rely on, man. And like I said earlier, just make a lot of things in your life easier. So I think that's been the most rewarding part of being married to me. Just having no regrets on the person that you will spend the rest of your life with. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all waiting for me to answer. I'll say, like, marriage is a sanctifying, thing. So even though sometimes you may have the difficulties, I think the rewarding part of being married is also getting bringing out the best in each other, because it is a sanctifying process. So if you're struggling with patience, guess what? Your partner is going to test every part of that. And so, yeah, it's just a sanctifying process of marriage, So, yeah, that's what I got.
Okay. So speaking on difficulties in the marriage, as far as difficult conversations, how do you navigate that? And has that approach shifted over time?
Well, for me, I don't like to conversate.
Converse.
Just being honest, like I don't. I'm not big on it because, and I think I explained this to her in the beginning. Well, not in the beginning, but like as time went on, I never, like I was saying earlier, like far as my relationship, my past relationship, I was with somebody, but I wasn't in a relationship, so I never had to come to somebody and tell them everything was going on with me. Like I never had to just be open. I never had to, if I didn't want to say something, I just didn't say it. Like with her, I got to explain myself. I got to let her know this and I got to let her know that. Like I never had that. So doing this now, I mean it's kind of easy now, but back then like it was hard, bro, because I never had to do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I never had to do it. So it's still a process for me, just opening up, not getting ill so fast, because my temper is very short. And when I get frustrated, I just get quiet. But going on this journey, like, this is my wife. I can't just shut down on my wife. You know what I'm saying? I got to talk.
Right.
And that's just something that I really don't like to do, especially when I feel like I done did something wrong or the finger is being pointed at me. I really just be quiet. You know what I'm saying? So.
Okay, so I was riding in the car and I got this like imagery. And so what it was like, you know, when you putting a 1,000-piece puzzle together, right? You have the picture of the box. So you can go along with the picture. So I know like, okay, I can put everything that's this color over here. I know where to put this. A relationship without conversation is like that 1,000-piece puzzle without a box, without the image. Can it be done? Yeah, you can work around the edges and, you know, fix it and try to put things here. But will it take a lot longer? Absolutely. And I think being transparent, that has been a difficult part in our marriage, is we are putting a 1,000-piece puzzle together without the image. And I think that's what kind of happens with difficult conversations. We're searching for so long to how to put that piece in there because we don't have the image of how to do it. So yeah, I think even though you're trying, it still has to be a little bit better, you know. And also I'll get on myself too. Like I was talking to this one of my patients. First time I met the man, I saw him yesterday, honestly, and he was saying to me that we have to learn how to refine our communication. So if you read in the Bible, like if you read Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, if you read in those scriptures, every scripture is telling the same story, but it gives you a little bit more every time, right? He said, that's what, you can't keep going to the same way. Don't keep going in with the same plate. Change up what's on the menu. You change up what's on the menu so you can get that person to open up. So I can't just point the finger at him like, oh, you don't communicate. I also have to figure out how to change up the menu. I can't keep coming in with the same attitude or the same approach. So I'm taking my part in that too. He had said, because he was a communication major and he was in the Army, he had said that somebody told him, he was like, your communication is so good that you could tell somebody to kiss your behind, and the way that you communicate it, they'll be in agreement with you, like, yeah, I will, yeah. And I was like, that's crazy. So the way that even me thinking that I'm a person who likes to talk everything out, I want to get it all out on the table. I have to learn how to give you a sour thing or a salty thing, but still make it sweet. You get what I'm saying? So I'm going to not just throw you under the bus with the communication part. It is a difficult part in our marriage. The communication part, we struggle with that. So the question, how do we navigate that? We're still learning. We're still learning how to do that.
My brother told me, he was like, because I had said something about like going to counseling or whatever. And he was like, bro, you got an in-home therapist. Like, why would you go talk to somebody that really don't know you, like, at all, instead of talking to the one that you see every single day? Like, she knows everything about you. Like, why not talk to that person? You know what I'm saying? I was like, bro, you right. But it's just, I don't know what makes it so hard for me. Like I said, I just never had to do it. I never had to do it.
Well, I kind of disagree with that, because you can be in the house with somebody and have all these conversations, but of course it's not going to get to, everything's not going to get out, because it's kind of going to be surface. You got to talk to somebody else about it, because they're not in the house with you, so you can kind of see different sides to the story. That's just how I feel.
And I think even if we go back to the analogy of the 1,000-piece puzzle, sometimes you may have to bring somebody in so they can have a different perspective, have a different angle at what you got going on. So I disagree too, because it is something that's blocking. So I think having somebody that doesn't know either person, they don't know you, they don't know me, I think that gives us a different perspective on working out an issue. And I feel like you would be able to let your guard down, because you don't know them, they don't know you.
Right.
That's true.
Yeah. I can dig that.
Yeah.
All right. So what's one thing you do to keep the romance alive in your relationship?
What you do? What you do? What you
I mean,
do?
you said it was a bunch of touching, so.
I like when she touched me. You like when I touch you? I don't know, man. I just try to, I don't know. I might just come in one night and sit down, rub her feet or something. You know what I'm saying? Might go out.
She'll do
that on her own. She do that on her own.
They over there rubbing.
Bear claw.
Get him off the mic right now.
My bad, y'all. Go ahead.
Oh man. What else, man? What you do?
I like going out. So anything that I do, I'm a plan for us to get up out that house. I like getting dressed up, doing something a little different, and I like going out. So that's all you got?
Yeah. All I got. All I got.
Yeah, that works.
All right. So tell us about some traditions or routines you've created as a couple.
Like she said earlier, Bible study. That's something we started a little while back, just trying to get our relationship with God more stronger and get it in the household.
Going to church.
Yeah.
We got a lot of God kids, so we be busy going, ripping and running. We try to make games and stuff. Also, going to games and stuff with the kids. Christmas, we always kind of stay home. I cook, wearing our whatever. If it's whatever we decide to do, whether it's green, whether it's pajamas, whatever it is. Our Christmas. I think this year we might change it up a little bit, but yeah, those type of traditions. Anything you got?
I don't really think we got like
Not
no
nothing crazy.
traditions really.
Yeah.
Nah, I ain't really nothing crazy.
All right. So, what's one thing about yourself that you learned to appreciate more since being married?
Me time. I mean, because you were always with each other. So me time. I've learned to appreciate that a little bit more. Going out doing things like I went to wine and design one day by myself. Like stuff like that. Stuff I didn't think I would do by myself. Going out to eat. I never thought I would go out to eat or go to a movie. So just enjoying me time, whatever that means. What about you?
I would definitely have to agree because when I'm by myself, like I don't know, I just be in a different world, I think. Like, I don't know.
Okay.
I enjoy my me time though. And it's not at work, y'all.
Oh yeah, we did say that in the past. So what are some common goals that you have for your relationship and some individual goals that you have for yourself?
I guess I'll just let's start individual goals. I'm getting ready to get my youngest up out my house, I guess. And I've really been maybe going back and forth in my head about theology. I don't know. I'm real interested in the theology stuff. So maybe go back to school. I don't know. But I've been doing a lot of like studying in that way. So I'm really interested in theology. So maybe.
Nice.
Okay.
What was the question again?
Individual goals that you have for yourself, and then we can talk about couples.
Yeah. So I'm still in the process of like trying to get my own business. Y'all know I love landscaping. But I'm like, man, I don't want to be doing that for the rest of my life. So, these CDLs, I think, will be like one of the goals that I do achieve this year. Getting them CDLs, man, and just I got a certain amount of money that I want to save up. And just trying to get there. So.
Nice. Any common goals?
Yeah, what you trying to do with that saving money on the side? How much you trying to save on the side?
Oh, got a number in my head. I'm trying to get it.
Couple goals. What would you say? Spending more time together, maybe, is one for me. Spending more time and traveling more. Yes, traveling.
Going out more
would be nice.
We don't go out often, but we do whenever we have time. We will, but it's not often because these schedules with us and with the kids just be crazy. So yeah, just going out, traveling more. Yeah.
So, have you learned anything new about compromise in your marriage?
I learned I got to conversate.
Converse.
Yes. Yes, that word. And I think not doing that, I ain't gonna say I think, not doing that don't make the situation at hand no better.
Any better, yeah.
So, the outcome of me conversing with my wife is always better than me shutting down. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
So for me, compromise is, I'm a talker. I be talking a lot sometimes. And so also learning how to allow him to have his time, learning patience, having patience with certain situations, because I am a get it done person. You know, one day go past, that's about all you get with me. So being patient and you know, that's a big one, I think.
Yeah, that's one thing that I had to learn too, because I was the type, like, if something happened, I'd be like, I don't feel like talking about it right now. She'd be like, well, are you gonna come back to it? And I'd be like, yeah, I never go back to it. And it was a lot of stuff that was swept under the rug at the moment, and later on down the line, it just made something more than what it should have been. Right. You know what I'm saying? So knowing that she liked to talk and liked to just go ahead and get it out the way, I had to learn to, like, all right, man, just go ahead and get out the way. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I had to learn that.
Yeah.
I know we talking about we spent a lot of time on communication, but when you do communicate, do you feel like you communicating openly and honestly?
I would say sometimes, man. It really depends on, like, the mood. You know what I'm saying? Because if I'm in a position to where I really, like, if we had a heated conversation or like an argument, and like she trying to get me to conversate, like, I'm not gonna want to. I'm gonna just say something to make you just be quiet, or try to get you to be quiet, or, like, it's not gonna be how it should be. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be like, I don't know, man. It's crazy. It's just crazy, man. Conversing. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. It's crazy.
But if you try it, like, have you tried it to see if it feels differently?
Yeah, I have.
And kind of what you said earlier. So, do you feel like when it's time to converse with her, you feel like you have done something? I know you kind of mentioned that, like, pointing the finger. So, do you feel like that?
Sometimes. Sometimes. And I feel like she just coming at me. Right. But most of the time, 9 times out of 10, it don't be her coming at me. It's just her wanting to have a simple conversation. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, open and honest communication, we're working on it. And that's just being transparent. You know, that's just being transparent. I have asked questions, and so one thing I know about myself is that I can be serious, like, you know, just talking, like, everything ain't really a joke all the time. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I think that was the kind of basis of our relationship. We had fun together. We were friends. But when you get married, now you have bills and you have priorities and you have kids and you have, it's so much more after you get married. Yes, life. So all our conversations won't be fun. And so sometimes you'll get a serious version of me, but that doesn't mean I'm coming at you. Right. So learning how to adjust myself so that he feels comfortable in that situation, but, you know, also to him understanding, like, hey, she just trying to be serious. It's not a joking time. And then I have another analogy, and I told him this one. And so this was a dream. So I had a dream, and it was a brick wall. And on one side of the brick wall, it was the word marriage. And on the other side of the wall, it was the word unity. And I was like, okay, God, there's a wall in between marriage and unity. What does that mean? And every conversation that is not had, a brick is put there. I'm offended or he's offended, there's a brick because we don't talk about it. We say sweeping it under the rug, but what we're doing is we're building walls. So we can't have a unified marriage because we're too busy building bricks, placing this wall. And I think that's kind of what we have to do now. We have to figure out how to tear this wall down, because there's so many conversations that have went unhad. And this wasn't the way that our relationship started off. But we have to realize that there is an adversary. It's the devil. And he hates marriage. And I was listening to Pastor Philip Mitchell, and he had said he was in a room and his wife was in a room, and he said a man was telling him it was a story the man had told him, and he was like, I saw the devil coming to you and whispering something in your ear, and then he went to your wife and he whispered something into her ear. And so it's just like we are allowing the devil to keep us in bondage or keep this wall in between us being happy, because you're being easily offended by a conversation, or I'm being, extra agitated because we're not having the conversation. You get what I'm saying? And I think that's just what we're trying to now figure out, how to tear the wall down. And we got to stop building bricks. We got to stop putting bricks there. We got to stop building the wall. So open and honest conversation, we're working on it. One thing that I kind of hold on to is like what Crystal and Chris had said in the episode. When you think about your marriage and how old it is, like you thinking about it to a child, and we 5 years in, a 5-year-old still need a lot of tender love and care. Mm-hmm. They still need a lot of it. And I think that's what we're going through the process of still figuring out, we 5 years in, we're a baby. And we can't look at what anybody else is doing or compare ourselves to anybody else, because our issues are different than everybody else. Mm-hmm. So I think we just have to learn how to trust. You got to learn how to trust Keonda with tough conversations. I got to be the person to allow you to be open with me, mm-hmm. and not judge a situation or not always give advice for the situation. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Straight like that?
Yeah, straight like that.
Good stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to go into it too much, but Nico did tell me that as well. Like, sometimes when we're having conversations, he's like, you don't have to fix it. You don't have to offer an opinion. Mm-hmm. I'm just talking to you because I want to talk to you. Mm-hmm. I'm just telling you what happened. You don't have to think, well, if you do this, he don't need that right now, mm-hmm. right? So that is a process,
Yeah, learning. Because I want to fix it. If it's a problem, right, let me fix it. I'm Bob the Builder.
Strategies you're thinking about.
Yeah, I'm a thinker. I'm thinking about how to fix it. But that's not what you need. You just need an ear.
Mm-hmm. Or two.
Yeah. 2 of them, if you got them.
I hope so. Oh, for the people that don't, I don't mean no harm.
Lord God. Anyway.
Moving on. Okay, so has there been any outside influence in your marriage, whether it's negative or positive, now that you're 5 years in?
I'll start this one. Because you be this podcast, the Mary Bunch podcast, has been a positive influence. Sometimes I'd be feeling like, bro, what do we have to offer to this mix? Because we be going through. But just sitting here at the table and listening to people who've been married 20 years plus and the wisdom that they have, and to know like this, they 20 years in, so they comfortable. But they also talk about in the beginning, the struggle. Mm-hmm. And that gives me hope, because we in the beginning. We still got a long way to go. So just being here with the Mary Bunch podcast has definitely been a positive influence for me.
All right now.
Shout out to the Married Bunch.
Spooky, you gonna answer the question? Jesus, I think he forgetting he's the interviewer. The interviewee. Jesus.
Shout out.
Right. Freaking sloth, boy.
Shout out to the Married Bunch, man. My pastor, man. Like, since I've met him, he's always been like so welcoming, and just see how him and his wife just how they just do things, man, and just merge things together as one. Yeah, he's an influence.
Yeah, shout out Bishop Millett's and Pastor Patty.
Yep.
Nice. So, what do you think will make your marriage even stronger in the years to come? We kind of talked about this. Okay. Well, so we kind of talked about this. You guys, do you guys agree the communication aspect?
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Keep on rolling. Everybody know that by now.
Definitely.
Well, that ties into the next part. So, do you think that is the main key to strong longevity?
I do. I really do. Because like I said earlier, not conversing or not talking it out, man, when things is wrong, when it could just be a simple conversation that could be had to fix something. Mm-hmm. Like, not doing that will make things a lot worse. So I think that is the main key to having a successful marriage. Communication. I think that's it.
Yeah. If you want to stay together, you have to communicate. Because if you don't, it makes everything, like it makes everything so much worse. It makes everything hard. Mm-hmm. It makes everything hard. And marriage on its own is not easy. Mm-hmm. But without communication, it makes it hard. Sometimes unbearable. It makes it hard. Oh. So.
And at the end of the day, if you say you want to be married to that person, they're supposed to be your best friend. They're supposed to be your ride or die. They're supposed to be the person you go to bat for. Mm-hmm. So if you can't communicate with them, who you going to communicate with?
Right.
Exactly. Like, seriously.
I mean,
for real.
Seriously. If you can't communicate with them, because if you feel like the person that you're married to has ill intentions, or they're going to tell you, then you shouldn't be with them. You shouldn't be with them.
In the words of Tyler Perry, why did I get married?
Exactly. Exactly.
You thought you did something with that?
I did.
He just trying to get a
soundbite. All right. So with children, I know you said they're about to leave the house, but how becoming a blended family affected your marriage?
Okay, we're gonna go for it. We struggle with being a blended family. I'm a woman, so I'm more like, we got to get these children together. We got to do this. We got to do that. And he like, these children don't want to be together. Leave them alone. So I think his view on it and my view is completely different. Even though it is a struggle with the kids sometimes, it has caused a lot of friction. It's still all love. You know what I'm saying? Even if they're listening, it's always love. It's always love. But it also has to be respect there. And you don't want to, even though you are, they kids, we have to still have that same patience and that same way that we have to communicate with each other. We have to be able to communicate with these kids too. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think it is a lot at times, but I think communication helps, and not just from one person, but us. We got to communicate better with those kids, because they growing up and they're going to be adults, and we don't want to, it to be any bad thing.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I think it's a blessing to have a blended family that can get along and just like be a family. Like she said, it was hard. It was hard. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, it still got to be boundaries. even with children, like we got to have these boundaries in order, because at the end of the day, they children and we grown, so it got to be boundaries. It take patience, like she said, and child gonna be a child, man. Children gonna be children. They gonna
But
do
we
what
still
they
got to
do,
be parents.
But we still got to be parents, exactly.
So did you guys twofold question. So did you guys talk about co-parenting before you got married? And do you feel like you should have dated longer and been in a different situation that you are now with co-parenting and like communication and everything else?
Okay, I'll say this. Me and him were on the same page with the co-parenting stuff. We did go through like a lot of, I don't know how much we can cut it out if you don't like this, what I'm about to say.
Go ahead.
But we did go through like custody issues and stuff like that. We were working with lawyers to do custody. That was a lot of money that was being paid out. We were working together for all of the things. At the end of the day, it was something that came back to kind of bite us in the butt.
Definitely.
Because we were being kind of manipulated a little bit. And that part we didn't know how to handle. We didn't know how to handle that because we were thinking we was doing what was right. And I think that was the thing. We were doing what was right, but we were doing what we thought was right. Mm-hmm. And we should have also incorporated the mom more, but it's kind of hard. Like the twofold, it's the same way. It's kind of hard because even though we would have these conversations, it would be something different. It would be this way one day, and within 5 minutes, it could be something completely different. Mm-hmm. So I think it was just hard. I think we handled the situation as best that we knew how at that moment. And going back to setting boundaries, I don't really like that term when it comes to kids. I do feel like there should be discipline. You can't do this. You can't do that. You can't, discipline. But I don't really feel like there should be boundaries. I need to place you here. Or I need to place you here because you're my child. There's nothing off limits to you, but you will be disciplined, and not like whooping them or nothing like that, but you will be disciplined if you don't obey, or if you lie, or if you're not truthful, or if you're doing things you don't need to do. And I can talk to you about that, and it shouldn't be, you know what I'm saying? I just think boundaries is not what we need. That's not what we need when it comes to the kids. They have access to us, full access to whatever we have, but there is respect, and it has to be respect there. Mm-hmm. That's how I feel. I don't know. Did that make sense?
Yeah, you said, yeah.
No, do it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just don't, yeah.
You right.
All right, so how y'all prepping for the empty nest?
Man, shoot.
How you preparing for that?
I'm doing jumping jacks. That's how I'm preparing. Nah, I'm just playing. I think it's going to be a test. I think it's going to be a test for both of us. I don't think that we are really like preparing for it. Yeah. Because it's going to happen. But I think it's going to be a test of how bad each of us really want it without the kids there. Because we don't, like, we so used to them being there, and if something is wrong, like,
they mediate.
We used, you know what I'm saying? Like,
you remember when he said, what did he say whenever?
So those two are the mediators in the house. They let us both know when we wrong, when we both, if we was right, if we need to change this. I don't like when you said this. You shouldn't have said that to him, or you shouldn't have said that to her. Like, we ain't gonna have that. know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna have that, so we gonna have to figure this thing out, just me and you. And I think that's gonna be the ultimate test.
As far as preparing for empty nesting, yeah, I feel like I'm prepared for it. I feel like I'm prepared for it. I feel like it will be a test, because I might be driving to wherever they at every other day to make sure they good. But yeah, I'm ready for them. I'm excited for them. I'm also I'm excited for us. Honestly, I don't think it's gonna be. I really don't think it's gonna be that bad. I don't. I think if we work on the one thing, I think it's not. I don't really think it's gonna be that bad. I don't have any doubts about being a empty nester. But anybody who have advice, they can definitely hit me up in my inbox. But yeah, no.
So y'all saying test, do you feel like it's needed though?
Space?
Like as far as the girls going off to school and then it's just y'all. Because it'll slow y'all down. Like y'all not going to be ripping and running as much. It's going to force y'all to be right there together. And then you can converse.
Yeah.
Well, Keisha, she just said she's still gonna be ripping around because she pulling up every 2-3.
But this is the thing.
2-3 days.
She thinks she gonna be pulling up, but college basketball is different from high school.
Yeah.
Them girls gonna be all over the place.
And they ain't gonna be wanting
And
to pulling up.
you read my mind. They ain't gonna want us like
She knocking on that
they
door.
Right.
calling. They ain't gonna be like the way they is now. They ain't gonna be nothing
And
like
them
that
people at
when
the
they
school
get in
be like,
college.
ma'am,
Right.
we need you to go home.
Yeah, like, you been here every day. You banned. You gonna ban you.
That sounds good.
For real.
Right.
Like they gonna
Well, it
want
don't
they
have
gonna
to
want
be
their
me. Me
space,
and my daddy
man.
can take turns. But no, I do. Crystal, what she said is true.
Like, do
it
you
is
feel like
those-
it's needed? Like, it would be needed.
Yeah, I do feel like it would be needed. To be settled though and not be moving around is gonna be a challenge for me. I think honestly, because I'm so used to going. So yeah, I think that's gonna be more of a challenge for me. Just learning how to rest in this season,
Well, that's why she's going back to school.
so I don't be resting. So I'll be
Exactly.
out. I'm finding something to do. Yeah. So yeah, I think it is gonna be a challenge for me though, because we really be ripping and running. Yeah.
Really do. I wouldn't say it's needed. You think it's needed? I wouldn't say it's needed.
It's needed.
Well, Wookie, you're the one that said it's gonna be a test.
Yeah,
that's
Like you went deep with it,
It's gonna be a
so
test. It's
so
gonna be a
what-
test.
in your mind, like, what does that mean
Like
to you?
I'm just like us, like a test of us. Like I said, how bad. Like not having the mediators in the house, man.
That means you're gonna have to talk.
Yeah, because I'm
To
gonna have
each
to
other.
yeah.
So-
That's gonna be the test.
So in a sense, it's kind of
Needed.
It's
Yeah, you right.
It is.
It is
Yeah,
needed.
it's needed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And are you
it's-
gonna
that's not a
prepare
bad
for the
thing.
test
Yeah,
Yeah.
before
Not
the
bad.
test happens?
Right.
Because honestly,
you right.
he talks to them about his stuff. Like you will talk more freely with Naya and Kaya,
And they talk to me.
but I'm talking about your grown up problems. You will talk more to Naya and Kaya, so this is gonna be a test for you.
I don't
because-
talk more than them. I don't. You might think I do, but I don't.
Call Naya and Kaya.
See,
there you go,
That was a joke. That was a joke.
She really wanted you to call Naya Kaya. She really did.
She did.
That was a joke.
But
What I tell Nico,
Nah.
jokes mean something.
Yes.
yeah, yeah, Chris, I do think it's gonna be needed though. I
Yes,
think it's
it
needed.
is.
I think it's needed.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
No.
there's nothing wrong
That's
with it.
real.
That's
I
real.
think it's needed.
Transparency.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, bro, since you chop it up with the kids, what advice would you give to your kids about love and marriage?
Don't rush into it. I tell them all the time, like, you got your whole life to live. Live your life. Get your education. Do what you need to do as an individual. Learn how to be independent. So you don't have to depend on nobody. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's gonna be heartbreak. Like, once you do get with somebody, it's gonna be you're probably gonna experience heartbreak. Like, you're probably gonna experience breakups, just people that want you for one thing. Like, I be straightforward, like, especially with my girls, bro. Like, it's gonna be men that want you for one thing. Like, come on, man, you got to be tough out here. You got to realize, like, a man gonna be a man. And I explained to them, like,
What that mean?
men, not all men, but let me not say men. Boys gonna be boys. You know what I'm saying? Let me say that.
Nice
but
way
yeah.
to clean it up.
Boys gonna be boys.
I
man.
like that.
Yeah. But yeah, just take your time. Don't rush into it, and let love find you, man.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, you want me to answer too?
You don't have to if you agree.
Yeah. I don't want them to get married young. It's Kaya, she always say, yes, I'm gonna be married by the time I'm 26, I'm gonna have my baby and I'm gonna have my kids before 30. And I'm like, girl, you planning all this out. And it's not gonna flow that way. It's not gonna flow that way. Just worry about each day. Just be your best every single day.
Right.
Don't worry about anybody else. Just do your best every single day. And then I also have started praying, because I saw somebody say this, that the conviction from the Lord will be so bad that they won't do anything they ain't supposed to do. They'll be so convicted they'll just run. So yeah. And then I be telling them about the Jeffrey Dahmers and all the other stuff, watch your drinks, all the things. So, I'm trying to get all I can get into them in these last little, this last little bit. And love and marriage should be the last thing on your list. You got a bright future. Don't worry about that stuff.
All right. It's a test for the parents. Like, all the stuff that you taught them and you instilled in them, now you get to see it really work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, they got it. Yeah.
Yeah, they got it.
And we all just going to take turns going up there.
Leave them
Still
girls
talking about going up there, bro. Yeah, she gonna be up
For the
there,
first
bro.
week, you do got to keep checking.
She gonna be up there.
Yeah.
Phone call.
First week.
I mean, the
Phone
first
call.
year is gonna be like that, but the second year they're not gonna want to come home. They gonna be in it. They don't. So-
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
They already talk about not coming home. Their first year.
Not unless they like Sharonda.
They ain't want to come home.
You came home all the time.
She was homesick.
Sharonda.
They're going to be homesick. They will be.
they-
You have to
Homesick.
put this out like that.
Right.
She was. Mhm.
Right.
I don't think they're gonna be
Put them on
homesick.
blast.
I don't think so. I think they're gonna be just fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, they will
They're
be.
going to be fine.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Conviction, Lord. Give them conviction.
Yes.
They ain't gonna do nothing crazy.
No.
They know. I don't talk to them enough.
Even
they
when
know.
they think about it, Lord,
They know.
convict them. In Jesus' name.
They know.
Yes.
So
Conviction.
She was praying about their conviction.
Right.
Hey,
But if you do it, please know the safety behind
trying
it.
to tell you.
Yes. Well, thank you, the Carringtons. Thank you, the bunch. Let's thank the Carringtons.
We won't be doing this again. This was nerve-wracking.
We're going to do it again.
Any closing words from you guys that you want to leave the audience with, or say to each other, or anything like that?
I'm gonna bring back up that analogy that every conversation not had is a brick, and I just pray that y'all don't build a wall because y'all are not having these conversations, and that's why I leave it. Anything with you, William?
I would say one of my favorite sayings to always say is, if you do what you always did, you will get what you always got. And far as like in a relationship, if you don't, the outcome that you got from not conversing, if you don't converse, the outcome ain't gonna change. Nothing is gonna change if you don't change. It's gonna always be the same. So if you want it, you got to work on it. You got to change some things. You got to bite the bullet. You got to be transparent. You just got to work at it and pray. Let God be the center of it, man.
Very good. Just think about it at work. If you don't put it in the work at work, you get fired. So,
Period.
you know.
You don't want to get fired, do you?
All right. So, thank you, the Carringtons.
Yes,
Great
we appreciate
episode.
that.
And remember,
The
wedding is only the beginning.